Morning, everybody. I'm going to call the meeting to order. Thank you all for being here. If you would please rise and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sure, if we all stood and did that a few more times, we could get better at it. So get the timing just right. Thank you all again for being here today. We're going to start today's meeting off with our Firefighter Appreciation Week proclamation. So I'd like to thank you all for joining us today as we present the proclamation honoring all municipal and volunteer fire departments, battalions, rural fire districts, wildland agencies, and fire personnel, past and present, for their courage, dedication, and selfless acts of heroism in our communities. The order of events there, I'm going to have Commissioner Boyce read the proclamation. We'll have a short presentation honoring our fallen fire heroes who made the ultimate sacrifice in the line of duty. I will present the proclamation certificates to the personnel attending. We'll have to take some photos. Sorry about that part. Then I will invite some of you up to speak at the podium. So I think I would like to now ask Commissioner Boyce to please read the proclamation.
So again, this is a proclamation for Firefighter Appreciation Week in Douglas County, which is July 7th through 13th, 2025. Whereas we are proud to recognize July 7th through 13th, 2025 as Firefighter Appreciation Week in Douglas County, this week we honor the duties, responsibilities, hazards, and sacrifices made by our fire service personnel, including all career, volunteer, wildland, and structural firefighters, as well as chief officers, company officers, battalion chiefs, engineers, lieutenants, captains, fire marshals, public information officers, those cross-trained as EMTs and paramedics, and fire office personnel. And whereas we recognize that firefighters are dedicated public servants who place themselves in harm's way to protect the lives, property, and well-being of our communities. And whereas these brave men and women respond to emergencies with courage and professionalism, facing dangers such as fire, hazardous materials, medical crises, and natural disasters. And whereas the firefighters not only respond to emergencies, but also work tirelessly to prevent them through education, training, community outreach, and fire safety programs. Whereas we recognize the physical, mental, and emotional demands of this honorable profession and express deep gratitude for the commitment and sacrifice of every firefighter, past and present. And whereas we also recognize that earlier this year, our nation paid tribute to the 44th Annual National Fallen Firefighters Memorial Weekend, to pay tribute to the sacrifices made by our fallen fire heroes who perished while bravely fighting fires and protecting our communities, our forests, our livestock, our businesses, our homes, and our natural resources. The tribute also allows our nation to remain faithful in the pledge made to the families of our fallen fire heroes, being, we will never forget. And whereas to date, the names of 182 Oregon firefighters who have died while in the line of duty, dating back to 1881, have been inscribed on the Oregon Fallen Firefighters Memorial, including 19 from Douglas County. And whereas in 2017, the National Fallen Firefighters Foundation created Light the Night for Fallen Firefighters to recognize fallen firefighters, as a gesture of support and honor, we have asked that the exterior lights of the Douglas County Courthouse be turned red from July 1st through 13th as a tribute to the 19 fallen Douglas County firefighters, their families, and all fallen fire heroes across our great nation. And whereas it is fitting to dedicate a week to show appreciation for the heroism, dedication, and faithful service of firefighters who have rendered immeasurable service to the communities they serve. Now therefore, we the Douglas County Board of Commissioners call upon all citizens of Douglas County to observe this week as Firefighter Appreciation Week in Douglas County and ask you to join us in honoring all our fire heroes, past and present.
Thank you, Commissioner Boyce. Again, we're going to do the presentation of the proclamations, but we're going to take just a few minutes here and do a little bit of a memorial presentation. So I'd like to have Tamara help us do this, but I'm gonna read the first part of this and then have her do the second part. So we'd also like to dedicate today to the memorial of our fallen firefighters who have selflessly gave their lives to our communities. We do this to honor them and make sure that they are never forgotten. We, the staff, researched the list of fallen firefighters from local agencies as well as from state and national archives. The staff were able to locate the names and respective agencies for 19 fallen firefighters here in Douglas County dating back to 1951.
Now I would like to invite up Chief Mike Lane from Sutherland and Chief Tyler Christopherson from Roseburg. Please come up. So first we'll have Tyler, and they're going to read the fireman's prayer, recite the names of the 19 fallen firefighters, and then present the last alarm, which is a creed that they go by. So here's the fireman's prayer right there. Tyler, if you could read that would be great.
When I am called to duty, God, whenever flames may rage, give me the strength to save some life, whatever be its age. Help me to embrace a little child before it is too late, or some older person from the horror of that fate. Enable me to be alert and hear the weakest shout, and quickly and effectively to put the fire out. I want to fill my calling and give the best in me, to guard my neighbor and protect his property. And if according to your will I have to lose my life, please bless with your protecting hand my children and my wife.
All right. So Mike is going to read the names of the fallen 19. They're there and there. Okay. You're ready?
Sure. Jerry Bain, Douglas Forest Protective Association, 1951. Roy W. McFarland, Roseburg Fire Department, 1959. John J. Richards, Douglas Forest Protective Association, 1961. Richard Underhill, Douglas Forest Protective Association, 1979. Elwin King, Fair Oaks Fire Department, 1984. Mark Giles, Douglas Forest Protective Association, 1987. James Moore, Douglas Forest Protective Association, 1987. Russell Bryan, Elkton Rural Fire District, 1987. Julius C. Starr, U.S. Forest Service, 1990. Clark Gilkison, Fair Oaks Fire Department, 1991. Rob Johnson, Prineville Hutch Huts, 1994. Paul Gibson, First Strike Environmental, 2003. David Hammer, First Strike Environmental, 2003. Jeffrey Hengel, First Strike Environmental, 2003. Jesse James, First Strike Environmental, 2003. Richard Moore, First Strike Environmental, 2003. Leland David Price, First Strike Environmental, 2003. Mark Robert Ramsdale, First Strike Environmental, 2003. Ricardo Ruiz, First Strike Environmental, 2003. Done?
Yep, you're done. Thank you. Okay, and now we're going to have Tyler recite the last alarm and then ring the bell 5 times in their honor. All right.
It was the bell that signaled the start of duty, and through the days and nights, each alarm was sounded by a bell. It called the firefighters to fight fires and to place their lives in jeopardy for the good of their fellow man. And when the fire was out and the alarm had been completed, it was the bell that signaled its end. We seek strong words and symbols that give us a better understanding of our feelings we experience a loss, and we use these symbols and words to reflect the devotion of our brothers and sisters that they had for their duties. The sounding of the bell, a special signal of 5 rings, 3 times each, represented the end of their duties, that they were returning to quarters. And now, our brothers and sisters have completed their tasks, their duties well done, they have given their best. For our fallen, their last alarm, they have gone home.
Thank you. Mike, Tyler, thank you for helping us with that. I would like everybody now to please join us in a moment of silence and remembrance for our fallen heroes and their families. Thank you. So now we're gonna do the presentation of the proclamations, and I'm gonna, wanna do that with me, Tom, or you wanna? Okay, I'll do that, and, we'll take some pictures, and then I'm gonna invite a few of the folks up to come speak to us.
All right, so there is a clipboard going around, if I could get a grab it. So I wanna call you up by agency, so that we can get a picture and, the proclamation, so if I could have, let's see, Sutherland Fire Department. Back up again, Chief.
Yep.
Trouble issue.
I know.
Please look right here. Couple of my phone too. Ready?
All right, thank you. Don't go too far, we're gonna do a picture of everybody at the end.
Okay.
Okay, Fair Oaks Fire Department.
Thank you, sir.
Let's do this right.
Put you in the middle.
There we go. Perfect. Here, couple.
If you held your proclamation up like this gentleman, he's,
Like, right, like you're supposed to.
he's a pro.
He is, he is.
Okay, ready? Right here, smile. Nice, thank you.
Thank you.
Very much, sir.
Central Douglas Fire and Rescue. I'm on the whole team.
See if you're signing up or not, we can get him.
Corey, just feel free if you need to have some go in the back.
All ones like you can come up here.
Some of the tall ones, if we could have you go up in between Commissioner Boyce and Commissioner Crest, that would be fabulous.
There you go, yeah.
Or if you wanna
Do you mind
hide,
standing
one of the
up?
two.
Yeah, Yep. Hunter can come.
Yeah, you can't be the only one.
Ladies, we'll have you come up here.
Yeah, I know. Not gonna let you get away with
Find a
that.
place where you can see her.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get somewhere,
Yep.
right here, we'll.
Okay, we're gonna have to even it
Wait, you're
out.
in the middle?
No.
There we go.
Just know if you can't see my face, I can't see yours. Everybody?
It's not a challenge.
Let's start with the phone. Okay, ready? Smile. Okay, we'll look right here. Ready? Smile. All right, thank you.
It's
Thank you. Thank you.
believe we'll do.
City of Roseburg.
A little closer so the smaller group. Okay, there we go, perfect. Smile. This. What are you doing, Mike? Okay, look right here. Get ready, smile. Perfect, thank you.
All right, Cow Creek Tribe Fire Management. Tribal Fire Management, yeah.
See you.
We have Monty with a view and Monty in the back, in between the two commissioners, up above. Next to Eric. Okay, perfect. Ready? Smile. Eric. Smile. Perfect, thank you.
Live fire? Oops, sorry.
No worries.
Sorry, I'm gonna get more, I get them back to you, we'll mail them, promise.
Ready? Smile. Right up above here. Ready? Smile. One more. Okay, perfect, thank you.
No.
For support, okay. All right, so then I can have all, if did I miss anybody?
DFPA,
Oh, DFBA, I'm sorry, Pat.
we'll get some more, promise. I know where your office is.
Right. This. Okay, ready? Smile. Perfect, thank you.
All right, did I miss anybody now? Anybody else?
So,
Looking glasses here, awesome.
So we got Glide, Looking Glass, DFPA.
Okay. Smile. This. Perfect, thank you.
All right. Now, if everybody could come back up and we'll get you
Did we miss
organized.
any other agency? I'll have everybody, okay.
If we can have the tallest folks
Going to
up
the back,
above.
I'm going to the back.
Okay. You're tall.
Should've wore a dark shirt, huh? I messed up.
Never thought I'd be behind this, yeah.
Looks like I wore a tan shirt too.
enough to be back here? Oh.
Short of me, so I say no.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
Oh, that's all right.
Let's make 2 rows.
Stay there.
Stay here, I think.
So it's funny, I usually feel shorter around there. I mean, this is a cool place.
Can still have a couple in here.
Between 2 other heads.
I can't see you.
Behind Mike.
Sure you can see her when she's down there.
Hey Monty, do you wanna have from Monty this way, over on this other side, over by Pat? That would be great. There we go. Perfect. And if you can't see Corey or I, then he can't see you.
Have you guys scoot back just a hair?
Turn sideways. Which way?
This way? Yeah, step up on the
Step
podium
up
in the
a
back
little
there,
bit.
yeah. It's just easier to see you guys there. There we
We can
go.
get a few more people in here.
Okay, Chris, I can't see you. There we go.
He's hiding.
I don't know how I
Oh, I
Do it this way. My phone is wide, but this one isn't. Yeah.
She's zooming out.
There we go. Big group, it's awesome.
Wide angle lens.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, smile. Phone is wider, so I can catch everyone like this. Okay, so you can look right about here. Ready, smile. Silence faces. You in the back part, if you can come a little closer towards Monty. There we go, perfect. Okay, one more time. Ready? Okay, thank you.
Awesome.
Nice to meet you.
If there's anybody that did not sign in on the sign-in sheet, if you could do so, that would be great.
This is more fun.
Well, I love when we have such a great turnout that we didn't have enough printed proclamations. So now I'd like to invite up a few of the folks to speak. So let's start with the Looking Glass Fire Department. See, that's what you get for standing up here in front. Okay. Thank you. We'll give you another chance at the end. So we have a particular order here. So Roseburg City.
Just want to say thank you to all three of you commissioners. This is a great day for fire department families. Those we've lost along the way, it's great to recognize them and remember. Appreciate everything you've done for us and making sure that that stays on the forefront of everybody's mind. Especially in fire season now where things are starting to heat up, it's really important to remember where we've been and what we've gone through. So I really appreciate this opportunity to be here and speak with you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sutherland Fire, Mr. Lane, Chief Lane.
What do you want me to say?
You're up,
What do I say?
whatever you'd like to say.
First, I'd just like to thank you and the people of Douglas County for supporting the fire service. Unfortunately, I knew a lot of the names that were on that list. That's why it was tough for me. But anyways, thank you.
Folks may not know, but Chief Lane and I played football together in high school. He was bigger and older than me, and continues to be bigger and older than me. He was a much better football player. We've known each other a very long time, so thank you for your work. Central Douglas Fire, Chief Bullock.
Like everybody else, I do want to thank the three of you for this. Been doing this a while and I've seen a lot of changes in the county and the fire service over the years. And one thing I like to say is whenever any tragedy or major event hits, everybody here pulls together, be it the emergency services, the commissioners, everybody pulls together to support each other. And we just need to continue to do that as we move on. You know, the numbers may be down throughout the fire departments, but we're seeing a change with the younger generation. I think we're gonna get back to a lot bigger strength throughout the county, and it just requires everybody's support, and I appreciate all the support we've had from you over the years, so thank you.
Thank you. Chief Damewood from Glide.
Thank you for this opportunity to be here, and thank you three for what you do. The remembrance of the fallen firefighters are very important to all of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Calgary. Monty, do you want to come up?
To echo everybody else's sentiment, Commissioners, thank you. We appreciate the opportunity to show up here, to be with everybody else, and to be a part of this community. So thank you for honoring firefighters and for helping the community all things you do. Thank you.
Fair Oaks.
We had two people on the list, and I just want to thank you guys for your hard work, and you're more than welcome to come out on Tuesday night and to our drill night and see what Fair Oaks is all about. Thank you.
Thank you. I wanted to mention Fair Oaks and Glide both became very important during the Archie Creek fire, and then both of them were used as areas for the wildland firefighters to base out of initially and continue to support that effort. So I was very impressed with, what are two relatively small fire departments and how much effort they put in to helping during that time. DFPA.
As others have mentioned, I'd like to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule and recognizing the service that our firefighters give. I'd be remorse to say that, a life of service, we are truly blessed to be able to serve our communities. The one person that we might have not, or a group that we didn't recognize, is the spouses and the families that sacrifice to allow us to do the work we do. For every holiday, every birthday we missed, every summer vacation we forgone, we couldn't do what we do without great support from our families. And thank you again for taking the time to recognize everybody's service.
So I wanted to also recognize the sheriff and his department are here. Oftentimes during these emergencies, law enforcement is there kind of supporting the fire service. I know in the wildland stuff, the work that they do helping evacuate and some is really important. And on some of the structural stuff, just traffic control and other situations of having a good relationship with law enforcement is important. So Sheriff, thank you for being here. Many of you have heard this story and I'll make it quick, but literally the fire department and the work that the Roseburg City Fire Department did saving my family is what got me into public service. So I was out of town and I had a fire at my house, and Roseburg City Fire responded. They were there in 3 minutes and 48 seconds. Saved my wife and children, saved most of my home. I lived in a motel for several months. I raced back to town, of course. Lived in a motel for several months as I rebuilt my house. I sent a very nice thank you letter to the city of Roseburg and to the fire department. And it became pretty apparent to me if those firefighters hadn't have got there in time, my wife and children wouldn't have made it. And I'm forever grateful. So thank you all for being here, fellow commissioners.
These are somber times sometimes when we have one of these proclamations, but in all, it's a good time. I'm so glad that we're able to do this and see everybody here and recognize the work that you do. It's so important to the community. It just kind of makes your heart swell when you see this kind of support out here, and thank you all for coming.
Thank you. Commissioner.
Yeah, it's a great time for you guys to be here. I was thinking about when I started to read the proclamation this morning, just the timing of this. I ran into Pat in the parking lot and I was feeling sort of blessed and lucky that we've been able to kind of keep a lid on fire season in Douglas County so far. We've had a few things, but been able to keep them under control. But he reminded me that that isn't the case everywhere. That we've got folks out of here fighting fires in other places today. I wonder how full the room might have been had that not been the case. So it's a great time to remind us that the work that you guys do is very important. We're very grateful for you and your families, like you said, Pat. I can't imagine fire season for you guys and your families. You take off, and I don't think you get home very often, and some of them don't come home at all. So grateful for your service.
Thank you. I'm gonna invite up a gentleman to talk about some work that's going on to help with the flood victims. I know all of you were part of that response. I don't think your comments are very long, right? So I hate to hold these people too long, but if you'd like to get up and talk about your program real quick so they can convey that back into their communities. So Javier, if you'd, excuse me, Javier, if you'd come up, please, and just give us a quick report on what you guys are up to.
Yes, I'm Javier Caltenco. I'm a Public Information Officer with the Small Business Administration, Office of Disaster Recovery and Resilience. As you know, the state of Oregon has requested disaster assistance from the federal government, and SBA is offering low-interest federal disaster loans to businesses, nonprofit organizations, homeowners, and renters. So we do have a center that we open, so we can provide assistance to anybody who was affected. We encourage everybody who was affected to go to the center and get personalized assistance from one of our representatives. They can go and ask questions. They can fill out the application there, and they can also, if down the line, if they need to upload any documents, they can do that as well. As of now, again, this is for the severe storms, flooding, mudslides and landslides that happened back in March 13th to the 20th. We do have some deadlines. We want to make sure that anybody who was affected, they apply before the deadlines that we have. For the physical damages, we have a deadline of August 25th. And for the economic injury disaster loan is March 24th of 2026. Okay, yeah, so far we have offered more than $132,000 for this disaster. It's only been, we're into the third week, so we have already offered more than $132,000. I'm not sure if we have time. I can just see what.
So what I'd like, we'll give you more time, but I'm gonna go ahead and sort of recap real quick and let these folks get back to work. They're all, you know, probably on duty. So the SBA setup resource center is in the Public Safety Center, Roseburg Public Safety Center, upstairs in the Salmon Room, I believe.
Yes, correct.
And then they're gonna do outreach events and Drain and Myrtle Creek. Tonight's in Myrtle Creek. I don't have the date. There's several nights in Myrtle Creek, but I know, yeah, so, and Tuesday's Drain. So when you're in your communities, if you hear people that are still needing assistance, and this might be an avenue for them. So with that, I'm gonna take a couple-minute break, dismiss those folks that wanna leave can leave, those that wanna stay can stay, and then I'll have you finish up with yours, okay?
Okay.
So we'll just take a couple-minute break. Thank you guys all for being here. Sheriff, you tell Javier he can talk some more. I just
Yeah.
kind of left like maybe we were done.
Pat, real quick before you leave. I'll be back.
Okay, so just tell Javier to come back in though. We're not done listening to him. What's the deal on the parks bids? That park bids on the original agenda, what happened? Oh, yeah, they were on the agenda earlier. There's two bid openings. Well, it looks like Javier stepped out, so we'll go ahead and move on with the agenda. So if Javier comes back in, I'll let him finish up. So next agenda item is the consent agenda, and we have no items listed today. Agenda item number 3 is citizens' questions and comments on agenda items. Is there anybody online? Anybody here in the room that would like to come forward on agenda items? Seeing none, we'll move to the agenda items. Agenda item number 4 is a land department item. I'll invite up Tony Page, our land department director.
Morning, Commissioners. Tony Page, Land Department. What you have before you is a well and water line easement. Douglas County is granting to the Curtin Drain Rural Fire District a perpetual non-exclusive easement for use of the private well that has been shared by both parties for many years. This is to benefit the Rural Fire Department at 180 Curtin Park Road in Cottage Grove, Oregon. Do you have any questions?
Move to approve the easement agreement.
I'll second.
We have a motion, a second. Any questions or comments? Kind of like formalizing this rather than just handshake deals. I appreciate you doing this. Seeing none, I'll call a question. Commissioner Kress?
Aye.
Commissioner Boyce?
Aye.
Chair votes aye and the motion passes. Thank you very much. Agenda item number 5 is a solid waste department item, and I'll invite up Nick. Nick, hang on a minute. Javier, come on up. Let's go ahead and hear the rest of what you had to say. I'm sorry, I'm mindful of time. Those guys have been here for like a month.
No, I understand, no worries. Yes, so we are offering, again, we have 2 different types of loans for businesses and nonprofits, which the first one is for physical damages to real estate, machinery, equipment, supplies. They can use this loan to repair or replace that income. We do have a limit up to $2 million. We also have the economic injury disaster loan, which is for smaller businesses and nonprofit organizations. This is a working capital loan to help those smaller businesses and nonprofits maintain the doors open. We understand that even though they don't have any physical damages, they may be suffering economically. So we want to make sure that they have the funds to maintain the doors open. And they can use this loan to pay for their water, electricity, payroll, or any other liabilities that they may have. There's also a limit of $2 million, so it could be a combination of the two, up to $2 million. For homeowners, we have up to $500,000 to repair or replace their primary residence. And for homeowners and renters, up to $100,000 to repair or replace any personal property they lost. So that could be a personal vehicle, could be furniture, appliances, or similar things. We also have, we understand that sometimes either like homeowners or business owners, they may have damage to their property and they need to rebuild. So we also offer like mitigation improvements where they can actually request an additional 20% of the verifiable losses, physical damage verifiable losses. So they can mitigate against any other natural disaster.
So future natural disasters, yeah.
Correct. So that's, for example, if they had $100,000 in damages, they can request an additional $20,000 for that. On a case-per-case basis, they may be able to qualify for relocation, and on a case-per-case basis, they may be able to qualify for refinancing as well. So that's an option. So that's why we recommend survivors to go to the centers because they can be more personalized. One other thing I want to say. So we can. Survivors can also apply online. We do have a website where they can go online and apply. It's lending.sba.gov. But then again, we always recommend that they use the center that we have available. They're there to assist the community, and we don't have a date as to when they're gonna close, but we want to keep it open as long as we can. And I think that's what I have for now.
Well, you guys are putting out great information. I know our information team here is helping share that
Yes.
to our list and asking, Tamara's developed a really good network here with the other public information officers, and we're asking all the organizations that have lists to make sure we're sending this information out. A couple of my takeaways from the meeting the other day with you all. One is that all these programs are very tailored to a certain situation and a certain person. So people sometimes look and say, well, yeah, that doesn't really meet my needs, or I don't fit into that category. So we're really encouraging people to go in and sit down and talk about what their needs are, what's happened, what what's available, because it's very much a case-by-case situation. And the other takeaway I had was, oftentimes people think of the actual damage from the water, which is primary, but there's also the lost lost revenue of businesses. There's if nonprofits, if they had events planned where they were doing fundraising, or they were potentially lost the ability to have some of the people that had supported them support them because they're impacted by the flood. All those are things they should come talk about. You can't guarantee anything, but there's a broader kind of category that people should think about, and take the time to come visit with you guys. It doesn't cost nothing to come and sit down and talk a little bit about what your programs are and what you have.
Yes, that's correct. And we are going to have a two sessions where information sessions. One is gonna be in Myrtle Creek and the other one is gonna be in Drain. Tonight is gonna be
Nice
in
at Myrtle Creek at 6 o'clock at the community center. I'm gonna
Yes.
come down and say hi.
Yes, and we're doing this to provide the information. We wanna provide as much information as possible. And if anybody has any questions, hopefully we can answer their questions at that moment.
Good. Well, thank you all for being here and the work that you're doing. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
The other commissioner have any questions? Perfect. I've got your contact information. Thank you. I now will invite up Nick, the solid waste director. Sorry, Nick.
Good morning, Commissioners. Item number 5 is for the Solid Waste Department, contract number 30002684 between Douglas County and Mars Construction for construction services on an as-needed basis.
Move to approve the contract.
I'll second that.
A motion, a second. Questions or comments? Seeing none, I'll call a question. Commissioner Kress?
Aye.
Commissioner Boyce?
Aye.
Chair votes aye and the motion passes. Thank you. Commissioners, I have one off-agenda item. This is just a delegation of authority to Tiffany. The Board of Commissioners of Douglas County has appointed Tiffany Politsky as the Douglas County Council, and hereby delegates her the authority to execute on behalf of the county attorney engagement agreements, attorney conflict waivers, and legal settlement documents. This is something that we probably should have done when we originally appointed you as legal counsel. So I will move to approve that delegation.
I'll second.
A motion, a second. Questions or comments? Seeing none, I'll call the question. Commissioner Boyce?
Aye.
Commissioner Kress?
Aye.
Chair votes aye and the motion passes. We're at commissioner comments. Nothing either. Okay, so I'm gonna adjourn this meeting, then we're gonna reconvene as the local contractor review board. So I'm gonna adjourn the board meeting, and I'm gonna reconvene as the local contractor review board. It looks like we have a couple items here. So agenda item number 1 is a county council item. Tiffany.
Thank you. Tiffany Podlesnik, County Council. Item number 1 is a public hearing for the purpose of taking comments on Douglas County's draft findings for the approval of an exemption from competitive bidding, which would be an alternative contracting method for the public improvement project that is the Douglas County Radio Infrastructure and Improvement UHF system. This hearing was noticed in the Daily Journal of Commerce as required by the statutes, and the proposed draft findings, I believe, have been posted online on the county's bid documents webpage.
Okay, any questions of staff before I open the public hearing? I'll go ahead and open the public hearing and invite anybody that'd like to speak on agenda item number 1. Is there anybody online? Seeing nobody, I will close the public hearing. And if we don't take action on this, we do the next one.
Correct.
So agenda item number 2, County Council, Tiffany.
Item number 2 is the board order that would authorize Douglas County to use informally solicited competitive proposals from prospective contractors for the UHF project.
I'll move to approve the board order.
And I'll second that.
A motion, a second. Questions or comments? I think this is partly a factor of the time crunch we're under with the.
Serious time crunch, yep.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, I'll call a question. Commissioner Boyce?
Aye.
Commissioner Kress?
Aye.
Chair votes aye and the motion passes. Anything from the other commissioners? Seeing none, I'll adjourn the meeting. Thank you all for being here.